Oh, the words from the pages change your world can change your heart, it can change your mind, it can change your life. New Black Wall Street can change your world.
All right, my beautiful people, thanks so much for tuning in this morning here on the New Black Wall Street Book Club. We are back with our book of the week, the month, I don't know, a couple weeks. We are back into the book, Dangote's 10 Commandments on Money. Of course, this is the book and lessons from the richest black man in the world. That's right, lessons from the richest black man in the world. Of course, most people don't know that Aliko Dangote is the richest black man in the world from Nigeria. How did I find out? Because I wrote a book. I wrote the book, which is called The Black Billionaires Club, which highlights the 12 black billionaires in the world today. And out of 2,043 billionaires in the world today, only 12 of them are black. And I believe that we should do a good job of studying those 12 and finding out what they did to overcome what they've done to be in the place where they are now, so we can learn something about wealth. At the end of the day, guys, if you want to be wealthy, study wealthy people. And we have 12 of them that are colored just like us, and hopefully we can learn something from them. Well, I'm ERGJ, your certified financial educator. My goal is to bring investment education to the urban community. That's one of my businesses. And you can follow me there at www.ergj.net. Find out a little bit more about my business and what I do. And then also you go over to the Facebook page. You want to get some tips, some articles, some things that you need to know about money. You just go on over to the Facebook page, ergj.n. Go ahead and like the page, follow the page, give me a review. I mean, my goodness, if I'm bringing all this content and all this value into your life, I think it's fair that you leave some words of encouragement, or you leave let other people know the value that you're getting out of your experience with ERGJ. But not only that, we also do have the Black Bazaar, which is another one of my business, my second business, which is the product side, where I bring in African imported products and also black-owned products to the black community, where I help make group economics easy. So all the stuff that you see behind me, from your dashikis to your purses to your lotion and body wash, I got it all. And so anything that you're looking to get for yourself, you can definitely get that at ERGJ Black Bazaar. So going over to that page, like that page, follow that page, as we bring more African imported products and black-owned products, and we help make it easy to practice group economics. Good morning, Wanda. Thanks so much for being here. Head wraps, got some head wraps for you too. I do have those available for you as well. So if you're representing today, and no matter where you are, go ahead and say hello, say good morning. I mean, it's a terrific Tuesday, and we gonna learn today. So hopefully you guys are ready. I mean that you're ready. You're ready. They're about starting in a business for which you have a passion for. And everyone that joined yesterday said, you know what? I was going to do my due diligence. I was going to do some self-examination, and I was going to be ready today. So hopefully you're ready today. So thanks so much for tuning in. One other thing I want to make you aware of is that we do have started, if you don't know about Club Millie, that is our black investment group. And so if you want to walk away from the crowd of people who are just only talking about the problems, the crowd of people who gossip and complain, and you want to get to people who are actually solving problems, finding ways to make their money work for them, learning about this whole new world of investment, then you want to do that with some black folk, because our goal is to help 1,000 people save and invest $1,000 this year. And that question will be this: will you be one of the 1,000? Well, to find out more about Club Millie, just go over to www.nbws.us. That's New Black Wall Street, www.nbws.us. Well, let's not belabor the point, because I know you guys are super excited and ready. Everybody put in the comments below, ready. And see, Wanda, thanks so much for joining. Margaret, Miss Kelsey from Augusta. I'm coming to Augusta soon, by the way. Thanks so much for joining. I believe I'm coming at the end of the month, June 24th, something like that. Coming to Augusta, by the way, so maybe get a chance to meet you in person. Marlene, thanks so much for joining. Miss Gorell, Miss Wynn. Now, if you're watching from any other platform, maybe you're over the New Black Wall Street group, you may happen to be over in Atlanta Black Business Network or Black Enterprise. Come on over to the personal page if you want to interact with us this morning, because you may be watching, but you can't interact. Come on to the personal page. I'll be there to interact with you. Now, I will tell you this. I'm going to be moving this probably to about 7 or 7:30 in the morning, This is a late, I'll get up early. I'm the early bird that gets the worm, and I like to get my reading out early. So I want to go ahead and reach everybody before y'all get started with your day, before you get on the road to work or whatever it may be. So we'll be moving tomorrow's broadcast till about 7 a.m. Let's just go with 7 a.m. Early bird reading, black folk reading. So let's get right into it. New Black Wall Street Book Club, the 10 Commandments on Money. We're into rule number 2. From the richest black man in the world, start small. Everybody put that in the comments below. Start small. So commandment number 2 of his 10 commandments on money, after he told you to figure out what it is that you want to do, to find a business for which you have a passion for, is to start small. It says this: our meeting room was empty when I got there. I went to the window and began to look at some of the high-rise buildings in Victoria Island from where I was standing, which was equally a very tall building. I could see the Bar Beach Towers and the 1004 estate. I hear my teacher walking around in what I felt was his private office and talking on the phone. He was not speaking in English, so I guess the language must be Arabic or Hausa. I thought, though I was born in the northern part of the country, I spent quite some time there. I've discovered that I'm not good at picking languages. I can only speak English fluently and a bit of Yoruba. However, my not being able to understand other languages has in a way given me peace of mind and also helped me to mind my own business. Everybody put in comments below, mind your own business. For instance, if I'm in public place and people are speaking other languages apart from English, I don't feel concerned. Whether they are even talking good or bad of me does not bother me, since I don't understand the language. However, it also has its own dangerous consequences. Like the day I walked into a mosque in an area in Ibadan called Challenge, wearing a pair of shoes. I had gone to see the Sarikan, Huwasa, of the area for what I cannot remember now, was told that he had gone to the mosque. I decided to go into the mosque to see him. As I was entering, I saw some sandals at the threshold, but it never occurred to me that I should remove my shoes before going in. When I entered, I saw people shouting Kai, Kai, and glaring at me. I stopped abruptly, wondering what was going on. They kept on talking angrily. When they realized that I did not understand what they were saying, they began to point at my feet. It was then that I realized I should not have gone in there wearing something on my feet. I guess what must have saved me that day was my tender age and the understanding by the worshipers that my offense was based on ignorance. Wow, look at that. Have you ever been offended by someone due to sheer ignorance? They just didn't know that they offended you by their ignorance or their lack of understanding. And I wonder, do we find ourselves just like these people that he didn't understand their language and he did something that affected them or offended them, but they didn't take offense because they understood that he did something based off of his ignorance? I don't know why this is coming up right now. We're supposed to be talking about start small. But my God, are you quick to take offense from other people who may act out of ignorance? Oh, oh my goodness. All right, let's keep going. I was fully ready for my teacher when he walked into the conference room 20 minutes later and went and sat on a chair at the edge of the table. You know what? Everybody put in the comments below, I don't know what I don't know. I don't know what I don't know. And Wanda, yes, he is from Nigeria. The richest black man in the world is from Nigeria. Matter of fact, 6 of the 12 richest black people in the world are from Nigeria. That's why I got to get to Nigeria. I don't know what I don't know. All right. But I'm willing to know. I'm willing to learn. I'm willing to learn what I don't know. I left the window and sat on the chair next to him. Hope you had enough rest, he remarked. I could see the concern on his face. I nodded, not because I had enough rest, but out of pity, not wanting to disappoint him. I can still feel tiredness all over me. Within the last 24 hours, we had flown from Lagos to Kano to Abuja, and Abuja back to Lagos. One thing I had observed was that at the airports, most especially Murtala Muhammad International Airport, Lagos aviation correspondents did not go to him each time he is coming in or going out, as they do to other important personalities. They just stare at him and look the other way while he hurries past. I did not ask why, but I thought that the reason could be because the correspondent realized that he was always in a hurry. Every time he was either rushing in or rushing out. Our lesson today will dwell on starting small, he told me. If you want to go into business, you have to start small. Do you understand what I said? Yes, sir, I replied. He nodded and went on. You have to listen carefully, because after this, you're going to start doing something. And it is what I am going to teach you today that you're going to use to launch yourself into the world of business. So I want you to, he's basically talking to you and I right now. Say, yesterday we talked about you analyzing or examining yourself, figuring out what it is that you might be passionate about. He said today, after today, you're going to start something. This is not a show or a time where we're reading a book where you just say, oh, that was a good book. No, this is a call to action. Everybody put in the comments below a call to action. The richest Black man in the world is calling you out right now, Black brother and Black sister, in the form of a book. He said, if you move any further in this book, know that he expects you to start something. I want to make that clear. The richest Black man in the world is calling you out in the form of a book. And he's saying to you right now, before you move on, before you get to day number 3, before you consider coming back and getting more, he expects you to start doing something. Start doing something. It is what I'm going to teach you today that you are going to use to launch yourself into the world of business. I sat there listening attentively as my teacher continued. If you want to go into business, you have to start small. Another important thing you should take note of is that no business is too small to go into. I'm going into business. Going into business, your background, your personality, educational attainments do not matter. What counts is the business legal and is there money to be made from it? Once the business is legal and there is money to be made from it, then it does not matter whether the business is small or not. Well, isn't this something? You mean to tell me that my background, whether I'm Black or white, whether I'm tall or short, whether I'm light skinned or dark skinned, my personality, whether I have a pleasing personality or I'm an outrovert or extrovert or introvert, my person, or whatever I've attained in higher education, that doesn't matter. The richest Black man in the world said that once the business is legal and there's money to be made from it, then it does not matter whether the business is small or not. My question to you, Black brother, Black sister, have you been letting all this other ish get in the way of you starting something? Have you thought of all the things that you might have been missing, all the things that you haven't accomplished, all the stuff that you have created in your own mind to stop you from moving forward, keep you stuck from starting something? Do you have a Gideon mentality which says, I'm too small to do this, when you know you've been called to do it? Some people say it because they are far from so and so family, or have so and so degree, they cannot do this or that kind of business because it is too small. But what they don't know is that they are doing themselves harm. I want to repeat that no business is too small, provided that it is legal and there's money to be made from it. What these people call small businesses have made a lot of people millionaires. For instance, I know that many years ago, some people thought that water business was a small business, but today, a lot of people have become multi-millionaires through the business. Even multinationals like Coca-Cola and Nestle are now neck deep into the business. But this is a business that was regarded as a small business just 20 years ago. then some people would have said, how could they, sons of so or so-and-so, stoop so low as to get involved in the water business? Now, I like this right here. I just happen to be in the water business. I just happen to understand that everybody drinks water. And I just happen to now be in the water business. So I'm feeling good about what the richest black man in the world is saying to me. He said, this ain't no small business. Everybody drinks water. And there have been a lot of millionaires that have come out of the water business. So thank you, Lord. That's just confirmation. Anyway, but now everybody has seen that water is not in any way a small business. This thing that I'm talking about now happened to my relatives who would see a small business where they could make money, but they would not do it. Instead, they would say something like, my name is Dangote, or my name is Don Tata. This kind of business is too small. I can't get myself involved in it. What I'm trying to put across is that you don't bring in your ego when it comes to making money. Don't bring in your ego when it comes to making money. Everybody jot that down. Richest black man in the world teaching us something today, folks. Don't bring in your ego when it comes to making money. There's a saying that pride goes before the fall. If you carry your family background or your degrees on your head, you cannot make more money. For you to make money, you have to forget where you're coming from or the certificates you have acquired. All that does not matter. The bottom line should be, is the business legal? And is there money to make from it? And that's the bottom line, because the richest black man in the world said so. All that the bottom line should be, is the business legal? And is there money to make from it? Ego or pride has ruined a lot of people. Instead of starting small, they will want to start in a very big way. Instead of going into small business, they want to go into aeroplane manufacturing. They'll keep on waiting and waiting for the right time to go into that, and most of the time, the right time never comes. And at the end of the day, they will waste a whole lifetime waiting. And this point right here is what we see happen too often in the black community. They waste their whole lifetime waiting. Now, I really want you to think about this for a second. How long have you been waiting? 10 years? 15 years? 30 years? How long have you been waiting? And how long will you continue to wait? I've never seen the person who is a perpetual waiter make a whole bunch of money, because they spend more time waiting than they do working. He says this: they waste a whole lifetime waiting. You got to decide for yourself if you're going to be a person of action instead of a person of waiting. Mr. Dangote, the richest black man in the world, is putting out a call to action to you and I today to stop waiting. Everybody put that in the comments below. Very definitive point. Stop waiting. Stop waiting. I shook my head ruefully. He licked his lips with his tongue. He was looking very sober, a pointer to the fact that he was dead serious with what he was saying. What I'm telling you is the truth. At the end of the day, they waste their entire life because the opportunity they are waiting for to go into business is a very big way, never comes. As big as this country is, I don't know of anybody that started in a big way. We all started small. I can remember vividly when Tony Elumilu and his group started. Most people thought that they were not serious and such. Not many gave them a chance. I can say that what they had was just their vision, nothing more. But today, see where they are. In my own case, though from a very rich family, I started small as a trader in cement and began to grow. Rome, they say, was not built in a day. If you want to go into business, don't waste your time waiting for the big break. Start small and then grow with your business. The problem with Nigerians is that we have wrong perception of business. Our perception of business is profit, profit, and profit. Nobody's interested in growing his or her business. We will go into business in the morning and expect to begin to make profit in the afternoon. But in other parts of the world, it's not so. In fact, it is only in Nigeria that one can go into business to begin to make profit immediately. In advanced economies, it takes a minimum of 5 years before you can expect profit from your business. They use the first 5 years to grow their business, being mindful of the fact that the first 2 or 3 years of the life of any business are very critical. That if the business survives the first 3 years, it can hardly go under. But here in Nigeria, we start business today and begin to make profit today. And as such, we don't take interest in growing our business. That's why they fall like a pack of cards. A business you see today, go there tomorrow and it is gone. This happens because our interest is on profit maximization instead of putting structures that will support the business in the long run. Here's the question. Are you more focused on profit or growth? Is your main concern profit or growth? Mr. Dangote is telling us to be more concerned about growth, and the profit will come. But most of us are only concerned about profit. And we don't give enough attention to how this baby is going to be supported in its growth. I'm thinking is that once the business is making profit, it means the business is doing very well. But it's not so. There are many other factors that determine if a business is doing well or not. Experiences show that it is not in all those so-called big businesses that most people think money is that it really is. Ask yourself, why is it that the Dangote group is not into automobile manufacturing? Doesn't mean that we don't have the capacity to go into it. The answer is that we have. But if we go into it, who will buy? How many can we sell? The type of environment that you are operating in more often than not should help to determine the type of business you will go into. Nigeria is a developing economy. Our purchasing power is not big enough. Our main concern now is ourselves. And that is why all my business concerns have been man-related. I'm in the business of providing the 3 basic needs of man. If you want, you can call it a tripod kind of business. Cement, which is shelter, food, and then textile, which is clothing. This is our major concern for the time being, and that is a reflection of our stage of development. We have not got to the stage of sending people to the moon. So if you want to go into business, you have to put the stage of development of the environment that you're going to operate in into consideration before making your decision. In Nigeria, the 3 basic needs of man will continue to take the center stage for a very long time. So also is the latest entrant, communications. Therefore, if you want to go into business, think along these lines. In the country today, and even in the future, any business that has man and its major focus will flourish because of the population. Any business that has man as its major focus will flourish because of the population. Now, I really want you to think about this. There's a reason why ERGJ Enterprises, ERGJ Black Bazaar focuses on what we call essentials. I started with what we call here detergent. Why? Because everybody washes their clothes. It's an essential. Very easy to do well with something that everybody's going to do anyway. Okay? We're into water now, right? We do tests with water, alkaline water, the best alkaline water on the planet. Why? because everybody drinks water. It's an essential. No way we can fail if we're providing or we're taking into account that man is our major focus. We'll flourish because of the population. And so when I bring these opportunities to people to say, listen, we're selling water and everybody drinks water. The question is, will they buy it from you? Everybody washes their clothes. The question is, will they buy their detergent from me? It's not rocket science. It's very simple. And I didn't even read this book before I understood this. And hopefully you're learning right now from the richest black man in the world. And you're not the person that says, oh, he's that. He's sharing with you some wisdom on how you can get his money. All right. He paused and looked over to see if I was listening. Our eyes met and locked, and that told that him I was still all ears. So if you want to go into business, you should think along the tripod or the 3 basic needs of a man. He said, I want you right now to think of the basic needs of men. Right? Think of the basic needs of men. Go ahead and jot down a couple of them in the comments below. What are some basic needs of men and women in your community, in your population, right? Now, just because they need it don't mean that they want it, but at least you can recognize the needs that they have. I understood financial education was a need. That's why I'm in the financial education business. Now, everybody don't want what they need, but that doesn't stop them from needing what I bring. So you should also bear in mind that these 3 basic needs of man are not limited to any particular product or service. For instance, food includes everything that goes into the mouth. His phone vibrated. He picked it up to check who was calling. He excused himself and picked the call. The conversation lasted for about 10 minutes. While that was going on, I was busy rehearsing what I would tell him when he asked me the type of business I would like to go into. After our last lesson, I spent time ruminating over the type of business that a boy my age could go into and make an inroad without it negatively affecting my academic activities. After a long while, I had made a decision, but making the decision was not the end. In fact, it was just the beginning. You hear that? Making the decision was not the end. In fact, it was just the beginning because I knew that he would want me to convince him on why I made that decision. Therefore, I had to go further than just making a decision to undertake a feasibility study to back up my decision. That is why I did not have time to rest when he told me to go and rest. When the call was over, he dropped the phone on the table. He closed his eyes for a few seconds, then exhaled long and deep before opening his eyes. He was no longer looking as happy as he was before the call came. He was now looking tired and exhausted. His bright eyes were looking dim and anxious to close. He opened his mouth and wanted to say something, but thought better and kept it to himself. I searched his eyes for some seconds to see if I would find out what was going on in his mind, but unfortunately, I could not because I had not mastered the art of mind reading. Suddenly, he said something, sometimes, and abruptly stopped. His voice was strained. When he spoke again, he could barely audible. Sometimes. It makes me mad when I hear the level of corruption that is going on in this country. It turns my stomach. It makes me real sick. We sick, boss. Sometimes it turns my stomach to hear the level of miseducation that's happening in the Black community. It turns my stomach and it makes me real sick. Sometimes it makes me mad when I hear, and I want you to finish that sentence. What makes you mad when you hear? What turns your stomach? That place that you have just recognized is a place of your passion. What makes you mad when you hear? What turns your stomach and makes you real sick as it relates to your community? The answer to that for you is a place of your passion. In other words, whatever that is, good old God in the universe has called you to bring a solution to what makes you sick. Because what makes you sick makes others sick. And unfortunately, everyone isn't as strong as you to go look and find a solution or a healing or an antidote to what makes people sick. So in the comments below, I'd like to know, what makes you mad when you hear? What turns your stomach and makes you real sick as it relates to your community? This, my beautiful people, is your place of passion. This, my beautiful people, is where your life work will be found. This, my beautiful people, is a place of challenge. It's a place of difficulty. It's a place where it's hard. But as Les Brown says, that if you want your life to be easy, you'll do what's hard. But if you want your life to be hard, you'll do what's easy. And just maybe, you have been opting out of fixing the issues that turn your stomach, hoping, wishing, and praying that someone else will fix the problem that you've been called to bring a solution to. Could it be that you've been running from your passion this whole time and you're still sick, boss? He stood up and looked at me with pity. Our eyes met and locked, streams of conversation going on between us through our eyes. What I imagined from all that was that if those in positions of authority continue to brazenly loot the nation's treasury the way they were doing it, the future of the youths of the country would be very bleak. From the way he looked, I knew that there was nothing to say and nothing else to do. The phone call had disorganized and distracted him from our last lesson. I was equally lost. I did not know whether to be happy or not that the lesson had come to an abrupt end. He looked at me and saw a look of hopelessness on my face, and he took my hand. Nigeria is blessed, he whispered into my ears. No matter what they do, we will prosper. Nigeria will not die. God bless Nigeria, I heard myself say. His face lit up with happiness. I saw streams of tears falling down from his eyes. Say it again, he told me. The strain in his voice had gone and the strength had returned. God bless Nigeria. He said it again. He bent close and hugged and held me for some time. When he released me, he brought forth his hand and I did the same. He locked his hand in mine. Now let's say it together, he told me. God bless Nigeria. What I like to say this morning is God bless black folk. Say it with me. God bless black folk. Feels good to get it out the system. God bless black folk. He left me and I went to my room, both of us feeling rejuvenated. When he reconvened later that night, I saw a very fresh looking young man. He was looking far younger than his age. A look into his eyes showed that he must have spent some time in the swimming pool, taking some strokes to remain in shape, though he's not on the fat side. We resumed in our old chairs and opened the floor. Now, tell me the type of business you want to do. Trading, I replied. He cocked his head thoughtfully. Why, he asked. I nodded happily. He was following my script. As a student, it's the only business I can go into, and it will not disturb my school program, just as it did not disturb yours when you were selling sweets. He smiled. Are you not trying to use me as your role model? Remember, you said that Richard Branson is your hero. It was a statement and not a question, I nodded. He is my hero, but in business. He cannot be my role model because we are living in different environments. And what I was working in his environment may not work here. He stared at me and exclaimed, That is good thinking. I'm really pleased with you. Now tell me, what have you decided to trade on? Juice. He said, who is your target? My school. The answer was foreign freely because I had done my homework very well. If it is your school, then why don't you sell stationaries instead? I shook my head. If I sell exercise books to fellow students today, I cannot sell them tomorrow. A student that buys exercise books today will not buy tomorrow. But somebody who buys juice today can still buy tomorrow. Oh my goodness. If they buy water today, they can still buy water tomorrow. So even though this is a one-time transaction, it can be a one-time transaction every day of the year because you will always continue to drink water. You see the stream that this young man was finding as he was talking to wisdom from the ages. What is some good stuff? He stood still in his chair looking at me. I began to lose confidence lately. He has been not reacting the way I expected in my mental script. You ever had somebody that didn't react the way that you thought they would react? After a long while, he asked the population of my school. Over 1,000. I replied. How many people are selling juice there? Just one woman. How many years has she been there? I don't know. I met her when I gained admission to the school, and those are in the final year now. Said that they're equally met her when they came in. They may be as old as the school. He nodded and asked, how do you intend to compete with her? I had to figure out all that when I did my feasibility study. I will compete with her for 3 months and then take over the market from her. I said confidently, I will sell cheaper than her, and in 3 months, I will take over the market. He stared at me. You will do what? He asked, surprised. I said, I will sell cheaper than her, and in 3 months, I will take over the market. He shook his head in total disagreement. He shook his head, and that's where it ends. What? That's it. Oh, my goodness. See how they do? He shook his head in total disagreement. And basically, we got to pick up tomorrow. What? I was just getting into. See, this is how you know a good book when you find it. I just want to keep reading, but no, we're not going to do that. Chapter 3 is tomorrow. So, question is, guys, what did you learn today? As we are taking, or we are grasping wisdom from the richest black man in the world. Right? We talked today about starting small. In the comments below, if you learned something today, share what you learned today. Why? Because this is going to help us know whether we need to come back tomorrow for day number 3, for commandment number 3. Right? We started with commandment number 1, which was go into business for which you have a passion. And then with today, we learned about starting small. So my question to you today, while you are typing and thinking, what did you learn today? What was your takeaway today from the New Black Wall Street Book Club? Now, of course, we do have the book, but I also want to show you just a couple things that we have that I didn't make you aware of that you might want to get, okay, while you're thinking about getting the book. And yes, I know Sinatra, how the hell they stopped right there, but that's where it stopped. I can't do nothing about that. And that's where we're going to stop. So just in case you don't know, guys, we do have the New Black Wall Street bookmarks. They are custom bookmarks. You can get them for $10. Yes, $10. You have the Ankh Light bookmark. These are custom made. It's got your Eye of Horus, I guess, with your African beads, and then your Ankh on the other side. It's important to just begin. And then we also have the Motherland Pride bookmark as well. Again, these are custom bookmarks, handmade, specifically for the New Black Wall Street. Of course, as we get into the book club, we got to have a place to mark your books. So you have the Motherland Pride bookmark as well. Got your African Pride symbol on one side and then your Ankh on the other side. And then with the African Pride or the Motherland Pride bookmark, we also do have the matching bracelet to go with it, which is $15. So if you want to get the bookmark and the bracelet, you can get both for $25. You can get the bookmark and you can get the bracelet for $25. Okay? So if you want to do that, I think that's a good investment. You'll have the bookmark for your book that you're going to pick up. You'll have a bracelet to always remind you about your red, black, and green, and your pride to be an African American. African American. So AV's the only one that wanted to play with me today. He said important to just begin. That's what he learned today. I guess no one else learned anything. So I guess maybe we won't be back tomorrow because people don't want to participate when it comes to sharing. Okay, here we go. Learn to look at my passion and to do business with a new mindset. Thanks so much, Margaret from Augusta, Georgia. That's right. See, this is the part where we give back. We let the ancestors know. We let the spirits know what Mr. Dangote and his wisdom has imparted unto us. And then we lock it in stone by what we type or the words that we put out. Roger said that he learned to start. That action speaks louder than words. And Miss Shanika Monique says this. She said to start small. Start small. Don't fret humble beginnings. Looking at the big stuff can paralyze you and keep you from moving forward. But if you start with small stuff, you can get going, start to see some success, and you can grow your business from there. Well, guys, look for basic, yes, Romano says, look for basic needs in the community. Look for basic needs in the community. Absolutely, brother. Well, guys, I want to thank so much for tuning in. I think I'm going to move this show back just a little bit. You guys let me know. Should we do it at 9 a.m. Eastern or 7 a.m. Eastern? We're going to take a vote right now. I'll do it either way. Okay, I'm saying 7, but I want to make sure that I accommodate your guys' schedule. You guys are here today. I want to make sure that we keep it consistent. If you want to keep, I wanted to move it back, but I don't want to mess up your schedule because this could be life-changing for you. So everybody, let me know 9 a.m. or 7 a.m. Which one do you prefer? Let's go ahead. Let's go ahead and put it out. 9 or 7, 9 or 7, 9 or 7. Let me know so I know where we need to go. Because I don't know. I don't have to go nowhere. You know, I don't have to, you know, clock in or nothing. So I'm gonna make sure I'm considerate of your time. Okay, I'm considerate of your time. So I got 1 9. I got 1 7. I got yes. 9, 2 9s, 3 9s. Okay, we'll keep it at 9 o'clock. So tomorrow we'll be back at 9 to go through the commandment number 3, going through the book, the 10 commandments of of money. Now I'm going to add this through the Amazon. I'm going to add it to my website. It'll be up today. I'm going to do it right now. So if you haven't got the book and you want to order the book, and you still want to say, you know what, ERGJ, you suggested the book. Let me make sure I go through you. Then, you know what I'm saying, make sure you go to ERGJ.net. You can do that within the next 30 minutes. And you can actually order the book through me through Amazon. It's just give me about 5 cents. But nonetheless, it is 5 cents. And I take every little bit of stream I can get because it's hard enough to get them, okay? So that's www.ergj.net. One guys, I'm reminding you of this, man. This is the New Black Wall Street Book Club. We are doing something because they tell us that if you put it in a book, you'll never find it. Well, we are going to go find it. And we're going to go read the books. And we're specifically focused on reading books that's written by our black people, our black men, brothers, and our black sisters, so that we can support what they have done and continue to spread their story. We spread enough for the other people's story. Let's spread our story. Well, guys, this is ERGJ, your certified financial educator, founder of the New Black Wall Street and the New Black Wall Street Book Club. I want you to remember this, that it takes the village, and it starts with us. Let's build wealth together. You guys have a good day.